What happens if you give a romance author a copy of The Boys and Power Rangers Megaforce? You get Go-Go Loser Ranger, also referred to as Ranger Reject, a recent show with its manga dating back to barely 2021, after Negi Haruba finished his last series, The Quintessential Quintuplets. So far released is 176 chapters of a romance writer's attempt at an action series, with the anime covering from chapters 1 to 50, and Season 2 likely covering from 51 to 125. Season 2 has already started, and knowing my schedule and watch time, you'll have left to go watch it by now after it's been released for the last year. The first guy on the list isn't even a guy at all. It's a grain of sand. The main focus on the series is Serotonin D, a foot soldier for the villainous army. Don't blame me for the name of them, I'm not the author. Szechuan D, as a main protagonist, is quite a flat character, focusing on building up the ensemble surrounding him rather than building upon his flat morality of being as cartoonishly evil as a person who's just asked you to pay rent in a game of Monopoly. I'm combining the ranges all together because they're mostly generic play-ups of a standard ensemble. You have yellow, blue, pink, red, and
green.
The recruits are, for the most part, generic minor antagonists, which, whilst they play into that role well, do not leave a large amount for character depth. They're generic and it's somewhat of a world-building arc rather than a solid storyline. Angel is a standout character from the group, but I won't go into spoiler territory over her. Suzukiri is what happens when you transfer a character from Kakegurui into this universe. She's a psychopathic manipulator, which makes sense considering her backstory, so she plots her revenge and gets Dee to help her as much as she can. Take the concept of a 7-year-old boy. Now have your parents join a cult, then die. Have your only living relative become wheelchair-bound and grow up in an orphanage. That's all the background stuff before the series begins. He then goes through even more shit, getting his face and body mutilated due to several incidents that are a mix of his and Dee's fault. The art style of Negi Haruba is quite simple, but Yostar does their best investing colour and life into the world, and adds a layer to the world you do not experience within the manga. I wouldn't have been able to tell you the difference between any of the characters' eyes or skin tone for the most part. Whilst the manga is drawn as static poses, the majority of the episode's action scenes do feel the same. Not to the point of annoyance, but enough to notice it quite frequently. I'm not one of those AI voice anime recaps, so this is mostly from my knowledge in a Wikipedia that was last updated at the start of Mesopotamia. About 10 years ago, the Chinese zodiac stopped counting years and started counting to 10, got together and beat the shit out of humanity. Fast forward a bit and you have Saturday morning Saban Sentai. Fast forward a bit and you have the Saturday morning Saban Sentai footage of Rangers beating up people. Now you got this little guy, D. He's fed up, he goes walkabout, he joins the Rangers as a Wish.com hibiki. He graduates basic training and gets sent straight to Special Forces. They take drugs and fight a snake, and then more stuff happens later on, but I'll let you read up on it yourself. Ranger Reject as a whole isn't a perfect show. The fight scenes can be a bit rough, the CGI models are off at times. However, that does not change the fact that it's still a show and manga I thoroughly enjoyed. Yes, it's a bit childish and confusing at times, but it's still something better than what I've done. Ranger Reject is not a bad series. Heck, it's tied with Time Force on IMDb, but it's not the greatest show ever made. As a series, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching.